sisters, Donna Partow here, welcoming you to day 42 of our 90-day renewal in spirit, soul, and body. Today I want to continue with a story from the book of Nehemiah about how the Israelites opened up one room in the temple of their God to a sworn enemy by the name of Tobiah. And the vast majority of them obviously didn't think it was any big deal. Hey, it's just one room, no big deal. But Nehemiah, who was a godly man, who heard from God, who understood spiritual things, immediately recognized how serious it was, and he took immediate action and threw Tobiah out of the building and got rid of all his stuff and everything that went with him. You know, I think that sometimes we tend to compartmentalize our life, and we say, well, there's just this one area that I'm not going to give over to God. You know, this is kind of my pet sin, and I'll just keep it in this one room here, and it won't be a big deal. But you know what? It will destroy your life, and I'll give you a testimony from my own life. This is not something I like to talk about, but I need to be honest with you about it. Let me tell you where it began. When I was a little girl, let's say in junior high school, I was madly in love with a boy by, let's call him Jimmy, who had no idea that I even existed. I wasn't one of the beautiful girls or popular girls or perfectly dressed little girls, not even remotely. And so he paid no attention to me, but I was in love with him. And one day, as Jimmy, who was the star of our basketball team, was running up and down the court, I went to a place in my mind where I was the most beautiful, popular girl in the entire school, and Jimmy was madly in love with me. And I did not realize that in that moment I had turned over a room in my soul to the enemy who would use that room to gain access to my entire life and wreak destruction. You see, something began that day. Whenever real life disappointed me, I would run to that room in my mind and play what I called my videos. I would imagine these romantic scenarios where I was beautiful and popular. Sometimes it was, you know, the man on the white horse rescuing me, or sometimes it was like a party and everybody was talking about what a wonderful offer. It's just an imaginary world where I was the star and I was the popular one and the beautiful one and the successful one, and it wasn't reality. It was not reality. And most of them were romantic fantasies. Now, of course, I excused myself because I said, well, I'm not reading romance novels. I'm not surfing pornography sites on the internet. I mean, this is just a trifling little thing. But you know what happened, sisters? It grew and it grew and it grew. And in the beginning, I would just have my little videos, let's call my little video parties, once a week when life was unbearable. And then once a day. And then an hour a day, 2 hours a day, 5 hours a day. And eventually my real life became so painful that I just lived in a little fantasy world. Just a little world of my own. I checked out of life because I was literally addicted to these mental videos. And I didn't realize how serious it was until I was praying with a group of friends, and they challenged me and they said, Donna, this has become an addiction. You are addicted to these romantic scenarios. You are addicted to this mental escapism, and you have got to break free. I could not do it. Sisters, the truth is, I literally had to work through a 12-step program. I, Donna Partow, who was set free instantly from cocaine addiction. I, who was set free instantly from, you know, drinking alcohol to excess. You know, they say if you can't drink without getting drunk, you're an alcoholic. I guess that's what I was, because I couldn't drink without getting drunk. Set free instantly. But this one room, this mental room, that was battle royal to break free from that. And I praise God. He has completely delivered me. But the damage that did to my life. And so, sisters, I'm going to challenge you today. Now, this is intense. This is an intense one. To look at your life and see if there's anywhere that you've turned over a room in your soul to the enemy. And he's using that as a launching pad to do damage in your life. We talked about this before. I'm going to hit it again. Anywhere you run to when life disappoints you, where do you run to? Do you run to God, or do you run somewhere else? Whatever it is, you might say, oh, it's just one little thing. Oh, it's just, you know, I have this food thing. Or, oh, I just like my romance novels. Or, oh, I just like my soap operas. No. Take it seriously like Nehemiah did. Deal with that room. Deal with it. Be aggressive with it. And say, no, I'm going to throw all of this out of my life with God's help. It's all got to go. And I'm going to clear it out and purify it because I want to become the woman that God would have me to be. that's my challenge for you today on the 90-day renewal. I'm Donna Partow, and I'll see you tomorrow.